The Kepler 442 system buzzes with activity as three major alien civilizations, the proud Altani Empire, the ruthless Vex Confederacy, and the merchant-focused Trill Coalition, fight over its rich asteroid belts and energy-rich moons. Their massive fleets patrol the inner system, trading fire and making territorial claims. On the edge of the system sits a small, unremarkable space station. The humans call it Outpost Delta 7. To the aliens, it's just another piece of space junk, too. Small to matter, too far from the valuable resources to care about. The station houses only 50 humans led by Commander Jake Martinez, a former military engineer who volunteered for this remote assignment. The aliens barely register the human presence. When Altani Captain Varan receives reports about the outpost, he dismisses it with a wave of his four-armed gesture. Humans? Those soft bipeds who barely manage to leave their homeworld? Let them sit in their metal box and watch us claim this system. The Vex Admiral Krex agrees during a tense negotiation meeting. The humans are irrelevant. They have no fleet, no weapons, no influence. They're observers at best. Even the Trill, Merchant Prince Nello, laughs when his trade advisors mention the human station. They probably came here to set up some pathetic mining operation. As long as they don't interfere with real business, who cares? Meanwhile, Commander Martinez and his team work quietly. Chief Engineer Lisa Brown manages the station's systems while Communications Officer Tom Reed monitors all frequencies in the system. Dr. Alex Wang tends to the small crew, and Supply Manager Rita Cole keeps everyone fed and equipped. The humans watch the alien conflicts with growing concern. They see the inefficiency, the waste, the constant fighting over resources, while leaving other opportunities untouched. Martinez calls his senior staff to a meeting in the station's small conference room. They're fighting over the asteroid belts, Martinez says, pointing to a holographic display of the system. But look at what they're missing. Brown nods. The gas giants' moons have enough helium-3 to power 100 worlds. The outer ice planets could supply water to the entire sector. And that debris field near the 7th planet, it's full of rare metals. They're so busy fighting each other they can't see the bigger picture, Reed adds. Their communications are chaos. No coordination, no efficiency. Martinez makes a decision that will change everything. We start small, document everything, map every resource, every ship movement, every communication frequency. We learn the system better than they do. The team begins their quiet work. They launch small, stealthy probes to survey the outer system. They intercept and decode alien communications. They track trade routes and resource shipments. Brown develops new scanning techniques to identify mineral deposits the aliens missed. Dr. Wang suggests they also study the aliens themselves, their psychology, their weaknesses, their cultural blind spots. Knowledge is power, he says, and, right now, we're the only ones gathering real knowledge about this system. The aliens continue to ignore them. Altani ships pass within a few thousand kilometers of the outpost without even scanning it. Vex patrols treat it like a navigation hazard to avoid. Trill merchants don't bother to hail them for trade. This suits Martinez perfectly. Let them underestimate us, he tells his crew during their evening briefing. Every day they ignore us is another day we learn something they don't know. Months pass. The alien conflicts intensify. A Vex fleet destroys an Altani mining station. The Altani respond by capturing a Trill supply convoy. The Trill hire mercenaries to raid Vex fuel depots. The system bleeds resources and ships while the humans quietly gather information. Reed discovers something important while monitoring communications. The aliens can't talk to each other properly, he reports. Different languages, different protocols, different encryption. They're fighting blind half the time. Brown makes another discovery. Their ships are inefficient. They're using outdated navigation, wasting fuel on unnecessary maneuvers. I could plot better courses in my sleep. Martinez looks at the data they've collected. Detailed surveys of every celestial body, complete communication intercepts, accurate tracking of every ship and station in the system. The aliens have been so busy fighting each other that they've let 50 humans become the most informed observers in the entire system. Gentlemen, ladies, Martinez says with a small smile, I think it's time we stopped being observers. The stage is set. The aliens have ignored the small human outpost for too long, dismissing it as irrelevant while the humans quietly position themselves to become the most knowledgeable power in the system. Now Martinez and his team are ready to make their move. Commander Martinez begins Phase 1 of his plan with the most desperate faction, the Trill Coalition. Their merchant ships are being hit by both Altani and Vex raiders, and their trade routes are falling apart. Martinez knows they need help, even if they don't realize it yet. Read, open a channel to Trill merchant vessel Prophet's Edge. Martinez orders. The ship is limping back from a Vex ambush, its cargo holds empty and hull scarred. Captain Nix of the Trill answers the call, his 6 eyes showing exhaustion and frustration. Human outpost, what do you want? We have no time for— Captain, you're taking the long route back to Trill Station. Martinez interrupts calmly. Through the asteroid field where the Vex like to ambush damaged ships. I can give you a safer path. Nix's mandibles click with annoyance. Safer path? Human. We've been flying these routes for decades before your species learned to build rockets. Martinez doesn't argue. Instead, he transmits a detailed star chart showing 3 alternate routes the humans discovered. These paths use the gravity wells of the outer moons. Faster, safer, and they avoid both Vex and Altani patrol zones. Nix studies the data, his confusion growing. These routes are incredibly detailed, showing gravitational calculations and fuel efficiency ratings that would take his best navigators weeks to compute. Where did you get this information? We've been watching, Captain. While you've been fighting, we've been learning. Take Route 2. It'll save you 6 hours and half your fuel costs. Desperate and running low on options, Nix follows the human advice. The route works perfectly. Not only does he avoid enemy patrols, but his ship makes record time back to base. More importantly, he saves enough fuel to make his next trade run profitable. Word spreads quickly through Trill merchant networks. The humans at the edge of the Andai system somehow have better navigation data than anyone else. Within weeks, Trill captains are quietly requesting route information from Outpost Delta 7. Martinez is careful. He helps them, but always asks for something small in return. Technical specifications, crew manifests, cargo schedules. Information the Trill consider worthless, but the humans find invaluable. They're treating us like a navigation service, Brown observes during a staff meeting. They don't see us as a threat. Perfect, Martinez replies. Read, start Phase 2. Time to help the Altani with their communication problems. The proud Altani Empire is facing a different crisis. Their military coordination is breaking down because their ships can't maintain secure communications across the system. Vex hackers keep intercepting their messages, leading to failed operations and costly defeats. Martinez has Reed develop a solution, a new encryption protocol based on human mathematics that the Vex can't crack. But instead of offering it directly to the Altani High Command, he approaches a mid-level officer who's been losing battles due to communication failures. Commander Thane of the Altani warship Honor's Blade is desperate. His squadron has lost 3 engagements this month because the Vex intercepted their battle plans. When the human outpost offers him a simple communication upgrade, he's skeptical but willing to try anything. The encryption works flawlessly. Thane's next operation succeeds completely, catching the Vex by surprise. His superiors demand to know how he achieved such perfect operational security. Thane credits the human technical assistance but downplays its importance. Just some minor communication enhancements from that little outpost. Nothing significant. Soon, other Altani commanders are quietly requesting the same minor enhancements. Martinez provides them, always asking for small favors in return. Sensor data, fleet positions, patrol schedules. The Vex Confederacy proves more challenging. They're suspicious by nature and trust no one. But they have a weakness. Their ships are old and breaking down from constant warfare. They need replacement parts but can't get them through the blockades. Brown has been studying Vex technology from intercepted communications and debris analysis. She discovers their ships use a standard component that the humans can manufacture with their station's 3D fabrication systems. When Vex Captain Zorn's ship suffers a critical engine failure, he faces a choice: Abandon the vessel or accept help from the mysterious human outpost that somehow has the exact part he needs. How do you have Vex engine components? Zorn demands suspiciously. We're engineers, Captain, Martinez replies simply. We study everything that floats through this system. Your people discard a lot of useful debris. It's technically true. The Eastie humans did reverse engineer the part from salvaged wreckage. Zorn gets his engine fixed and his ship survives. Like the others, he pays with information he considers unimportant. By the end of 6 months, all 3 alien factions are quietly dependent on human assistance. They still consider the outpost irrelevant, just a useful service provider. None of them realize that the humans now possess detailed intelligence on every ship, every base, and every operation in the system. Martinez reviews their position during the evening briefing. Phase 3 begins tomorrow. Time to start connecting the dots. Martinez initiates Phase 3 by doing something none of the alien factions expect. He starts helping them communicate with each other. Not as allies, but as more efficient enemies. The breakthrough comes when a Trill merchant convoy gets caught between an Altani patrol and a Vex raiding party. All 3 groups start shooting, creating a chaotic battle that destroys valuable cargo and damages ships on all sides. Everyone loses. Martinez contacts all 3 commanders simultaneously. This is Outpost Delta 7 offering conflict resolution services. Captain Nix of the Trill is the first to respond. Conflict resolution? Human, we're in the middle of a battle. Exactly the problem, Martinez replies calmly. Commander Thane, your Altani ships are targeting the Trill convoy, but Captain Zorn's Vex raiders are your real enemy here. Captain Zorn, you came here for the Trill cargo, but now you're fighting Altani military ships instead. Thane's forearms gesture angrily. We don't negotiate with raiders and merchants. I'm not asking you to negotiate, Martinez says. I'm offering tactical coordination so you can all achieve your actual objectives instead of shooting randomly. The 3 alien commanders are confused. No one has ever offered to help enemies fight each other more efficiently. Martinez continues. Captain Nix, you want safe passage for your convoy. Commander Thane, you want to eliminate the Vex raiders. Captain Zorn, you want profitable cargo. These goals don't actually conflict. Through careful coordination, Martinez helps them reach a solution. The Altani get to chase off the Vex raiders, earning a tactical victory. The Vex raiders escape with some minor cargo, avoiding total loss. The Trill merchants lose only a small portion of their shipment instead of everything. All 3 sides are somewhat satisfied, which is better than the total disaster they were heading toward. Word of this conflict resolution service spreads quickly. Soon Martinez is mediating disputes throughout the system. A mining claim conflict between Altani colonists and Trill prospectors. A trade route dispute between Vex privateers and Trill merchants. A territorial boundary disagreement between Altani and Vex military commanders. The aliens start coming to the human outpost not just for navigation, communications, and repairs, but for neutral arbitration. They trust Martinez because he's helped all of them equally, and because they still consider humans too weak to have hidden agendas. They're bringing us their problems, Dr. Wang observes. Every dispute, every conflict, every negotiation. We're becoming the information hub of the entire system. Martinez nods. And information is control. Reed, are you mapping all the connections? Reed displays his work on the main screen, a complex network diagram showing every relationship, every dependency, every interaction between the alien factions. It's incredible, Commander. We now know who owes what to whom, which captains hate each other, which trade routes are most profitable, which military units are understaffed. Brown adds her analysis. We also control critical infrastructure now. Half the ships in this system depend on our navigation data. Altani military communications run through our encryption protocols. Vex raiders come to us for spare parts. Martinez studies the network diagram. What happens if we stop providing these services? Chaos, Reed answers immediately. Trill trade efficiency drops by 40%. Altani military coordination fails. Vex fleet maintenance becomes impossible. And if we selectively stop providing services, We can influence any conflict in the system, Brown realizes. Support one side, hinder another, or let them all struggle equally. The aliens remain unaware of their growing dependence. To them, the human outpost is just a convenient service station that happens to be useful. They continue their three-way conflict, never realizing that their battles now flow through human-controlled channels. Martinez decides to test their influence. When an Altani battle group plans a major assault on a Vex stronghold, he provides their usual communication encryption, but with a tiny delay built in, just enough to slow their coordination by a few minutes. The assault fails. The Altani blame equipment malfunctions and bad luck. When Vex raiders plan to hit a valuable Trill convoy, Martinez gives them outdated navigation data, accurate, but 12 hours old. The convoy changes course, and the raiders find empty space. When Trill merchants try to establish a new trade route that would bypass human influence, Martinez simply stops providing navigation updates for that sector. The merchants encounter unexpected asteroid movements and gravitational anomalies, making the route too dangerous to use. In each case, the aliens attribute their problems to normal operational hazards. None of them suspect the quiet human outpost is shaping their successes and failures. We're not controlling them directly, Martinez explains to his staff. We're controlling the environment they operate in. They think they're making independent decisions, but we're influencing the information those decisions are based on. Dr. Wang raises a concern. What happens when they figure out what we're doing? Martinez looks at the network diagram, showing hundreds of dependencies connecting every major power in the system to their small outpost. By then, it'll be too late. The moment of truth arrives when the three alien factions finally discover what the humans have been doing, but not in the way Martinez expected. It starts with Captain Zorn of the Vex. His ship's computer specialist, a sharp-minded officer named Crix, notices something odd while reviewing communication logs. Captain, these encryption protocols we've been using, they're too sophisticated for human technology. Zorn examines the data. What are you suggesting? The humans didn't just help us with communications, Crix explains. They created a system that monitors everything we send, every message, every coordinate, every battle plan. It all passes through their servers. The revelation hits Zorn like a plasma blast. The humans haven't been helping the Vex, they've been watching them. Every raid, every ambush, every tactical decision has been visible to the small outpost. Meanwhile, Commander Thane makes his own discovery. An Altani intelligence officer reviews months of operational data and finds an impossible pattern. Sir, our success rate improved dramatically after we started using human assistance. But look at this, every time we succeeded, it was because we had better information than our enemies. Thane studies the analysis. Better information about what? About everything. Enemy positions, weak points, timing. The humans weren't just providing communication security, they were providing tactical intelligence. They know more about Vex and Trill operations than we do. Captain Nix of the Trill reaches the same conclusion through simple economics. His trade efficiency has improved so much that he's dominating routes his competitors can't even navigate safely. When he analyzes the navigation data the humans provided, he realizes it includes information that should be impossible for them to have. They know the position of every ship, every asteroid, every gravity fluctuation in this system, he tells his crew. They're not just helping us navigate, they're controlling navigation for everyone. The three faction leaders call an emergency meeting. The first time they've cooperated in years. They meet at a neutral location, an abandoned mining station in the asteroid belt. The humans have been playing us, Zorn says, his reptilian features twisted with anger. They've been watching everything we do. Thane's forearms cross in a gesture of deep concern. It's worse than watching. They've been influencing our decisions. Every conflict, every negotiation, every trade route. It all goes through them. Nix clicks his mandibles nervously. The question is, what do they want? Why haven't they made any demands? The three leaders study their shared data and reach a terrifying conclusion. The humans don't want territory, resources, or tribute. They want something far more valuable, complete information control over the entire system. They've made themselves indispensable, Thane realizes. We can't operate efficiently without their services. Our entire military coordination depends on their encryption. Our trade routes are worthless without their navigation data, Nix adds. Our ships can't even get spare parts without their manufacturing, Zorn finishes. They've been outmaneuvered by 50 humans on a single small station. Back at Outpost Delta 7, Reed detects the secret meeting. Commander, they know. All three faction leaders are meeting in the asteroid belt. Their communication suggests they've figured out our operation. Martinez remains calm. What's their emotional state? Angry, but also confused. They can't understand our endgame. Dr. Wang joins the discussion. They're expecting us to make demands now. Military surrender, resource tribute, territorial concessions. They can't comprehend a strategy that doesn't involve immediate exploitation. Martinez nods. That's because they're thinking like conquerors. We're thinking like builders. Brown monitors the alien fleets. They're mobilizing, Commander. All three factions are moving ships toward our position. Not together. They still don't trust each other enough for a real alliance. But they're all coming. The irony isn't lost on Martinez. The aliens finally understand human influence, but they're responding with the same aggressive tactics that created their original problems. They're going to attack the outpost that they've become dependent on. Sir, shouldn't we be worried? Tom Reed asks. 3 fleets against our single station? Martinez studies the tactical display showing dozens of alien ships converging on their position. Reed, what happens to their navigation systems if our station goes offline? They'll be flying blind through the asteroid fields. Brown, what happens to Altani military coordination without our encryption? Complete communication breakdown. They won't be able to coordinate fleet movements. Cole, what happens to Vex ship maintenance without our manufactured parts? Half their fleet will be grounded within a week. Martinez looks at his senior staff. They're coming to destroy the foundation their entire system now rests on. They can't function without us, but they're going to attack us anyway. The human strategy has worked too well. The aliens are completely dependent on the outpost, but their pride won't let them accept this reality. Time for Phase 4, Martinez announces. Let's show them what happens when they try to destroy their own infrastructure. The 3 alien fleets arrive at Outpost Delta 7 simultaneously, but their lack of coordination immediately becomes apparent. Without human-mediated communications, they can't coordinate their attack. The Altani assume the Vex will attack from the port side. The Vex expect the Trill to provide support. The Trill wait for the others to make the first move. Martinez watches the chaos unfold from his command center. Open channels to all fleet commanders. Captain Zorn's scarred face appears on screen first, followed by Commander Thane's proud features, and Captain Nix's compound eyes. All 3 are visibly angry. Surrender immediately, humans, Thane demands. You've manipulated us for the last time. We trusted you, Nix adds, his mandibles clicking with frustration. You betrayed that trust. Zorn is more direct. We're going to destroy your station and everything on it. Martinez remains perfectly calm. Before you do that, let me ask you something. How did you coordinate this meeting? How did your fleets navigate through the asteroid field to get here? How are your ship's communication systems working right now? The 3 commanders exchange uncomfortable glances. They used human services to organize their attack on the humans. That's different, Thane insists. We're ending this deception. By destroying the system you all depend on? Martinez asks. Let me show you what happens when you lose human support. He nods to Reed, who begins shutting down services systematically. First, the navigation updates stop broadcasting. Then the communication encryption protocols go offline. Finally, the conflict resolution network shuts down. The effects are immediate. Ships in all 3 fleets start receiving collision warnings as they lose accurate position data in the asteroid field. Altani squadrons can't communicate securely with each other. Vex raiders report engine problems as they're human-manufactured. Parts start failing without technical support. Throughout the system, chaos erupts. Trade convoys get lost without navigation assistance. Military patrols can't coordinate effectively. Mining operations shut down as equipment fails without human technical support. This is what your system looks like without human involvement, Martinez explains as reports of failures flood in from across the Kepler 442 system. Complete breakdown within 6 hours. Commander Thane watches his fleet struggle with basic operations. You're holding the entire system hostage. No, Martinez corrects. You made yourselves dependent on our services. We never forced you to use them. You came to us because what we offered was better than what you had. Captain Nick sees his trade empire crumbling in real time as merchant convoys report navigation failures. What do you want? Territory? Resources? Tribute? We want to continue doing exactly what we've been doing, Martinez says simply. Providing services that make the system work better. The three alien leaders are confused. That's it? Zorn asks suspiciously. Think about it, Martinez explains. Before human involvement, this system was trapped in endless conflict. Resources were wasted, ships were destroyed, population suffered. Now, with our coordination, trade is more efficient. Conflicts are resolved with minimal loss, and everyone's objectives are achieved more often. Dr. Wang joins the conversation from the medical bay. We studied your cultures for months. You're all intelligent species, but you approach problems with the same solutions: force, competition, dominance. It never occurred to you to try cooperation and information sharing. Brown adds her analysis from engineering. Your technologies are impressive, but they're not optimized. You could achieve the same results with half the energy expenditure and twice the reliability. You just needed someone to show you how. The alien commanders find themselves in an impossible position. They came here to destroy the humans, but doing so would cripple their own civilizations. The humans have made themselves so useful that attacking them would be self-destructive. So what happens now? Thane asks. Martinez makes his proposal. We formalize the arrangement. Outpost Delta 7 becomes the System Coordination Center. We continue providing navigation, communication, technical support, and conflict resolution. In exchange, you provide us with supplies, protection, and recognition as the neutral administrator of system-wide services. You want to rule us, Zorn accuses. We want to serve you, Martinez corrects. But effectively. No more wasteful conflicts over resources, no more inefficient trade routes, no more communication breakdowns. We manage the information infrastructure. You manage your own territories and peoples. The three leaders confer privately. They realize they have no choice. The humans have proven that their system works better with human coordination than without it. Terms? Nix asks. Simple. We remain neutral in all conflicts. We provide equal services to all parties. We take no territory and make no military demands. In return, you protect our station and provide us with the resources we need to serve the system. One by one, the three faction leaders agree. They came to destroy the human outpost and instead find themselves accepting human leadership of the entire system. As the alien fleets withdraw, Martinez turns to his staff. Mission accomplished. 50 humans just became the most important power in the Kepler 442 system, not through conquest but through competence. The age of human influence in the galaxy has begun.